What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to my live stream. Today is probably going to be the start of something amazing. I'm planning on making live streams every weekday. Haven't decided what time. Write in the comment section below what time. Should I do it in the evening, in the morning, 8 a.m., 8 p.m.? Please tell me about that. This stream, it will be a little clunky. This is my first stream in a while, so there could be something wrong. Actually, this is my second time recording today. The first stream ended up with me having no audio. Uh, but anyway, today I want to talk about something very important, Bitcoin, and looking at the big picture of Bitcoin to figure out what's happening in the future on smaller time frames. So we can talk about that. We can go straight into the charts. So as you guys know, if I go on the 4-hourly time frame just to show you guys what's happening on the smaller time frame, you guys know that we have been falling down already for about 2 weeks now, just going in a steady downtrend. People are wondering when we're going to reverse, when we're going to start going up. And this is actually a very good cycle that is happening to us. After rising up to 31,200, we've been falling down, and people are starting to grow reckless because 22 days has passed, and people are wondering when will we have our next leg up. But using the big picture, we can see what's going to happen. So if we zoom to the daily time frame, you can see that we are actually in an ascending channel. This is a big ascending channel. These orange lines, you have to remember this. Now, this is a cycle that we do. What we do is we actually rise to the top, and after we rise to the top and get rejected, we fall to the bottom. And we know that once we get rejected from the top, we will fall down to the bottom. But the question is, will we confirm support on the bottom, or will we get rejected on top? Over here, we had a fake out, didn't work, so we fell all the way back down to the bottom once again. Looking over to where we are right now, it would explain why we are actually in a downtrend on the smaller time frame. We got rejected from the top and we are almost at the bottom. Now, using this channel, we can tell that Bitcoin will most likely fall down to 27,600, around somewhere there, because that is the bottom of this yellow channel. Using the big picture, we can see what's going to happen on smaller time frames. Now the question is, when will we start going up? Well, you can see that there's a smaller channel right over here. Now this is actually a bull flag, these white lines. A bull flag is of course a bullish pattern. All it is just a consolidation area. We rose up, stopped pumping, started falling down, fell inside of a channel, which is a falling channel. Falling channel is also bullish. And then once we break out, we will see a momentum shift rise up. And the way you calculate how far we're going to rise up in this channel is by grabbing the trend low to the trend high over here, and then grabbing this and then moving it to the point of where we stopped falling down. And the simplest way I could explain this is just the previous trend, grab the 1-to-1 price pump, will take us all the way up. And this perfectly rises to the top of the channel once again. It's very interesting. So it's simple cycles, just a simple pump and dump scenario. And using this, we can tell, using the big picture, we can tell where Bitcoin will be going in the smaller time frames, in the larger time frames. So we can tell that in the smaller time frames, by looks like we're going to be falling down. We cannot say when Bitcoin will actually break out. But what we can tell is that it will break out. There are certain things we can do. We can remove, for example, it's going to take us a year. That's not going to happen. It's going to take Bitcoin less than a year to start pumping once again up. Why? Well, we can go back in time and check these cycles once again. We can check how long it took each cycle to happen. So as long as we're in this channel, as long as we keep confirming support and resistance, we will follow this criteria. So let's go back and check each cycle. So let's look at the time each cycle took to complete. So we started from $16,000 and started rising up, and we rose all the way to $25,000. That was 53 days. Now, of course, this was a sort of fake out, so we can actually take the cycle back down to about over here. That was where I would say the top is. That is 35 days long. Now, after that, we actually started falling down. We fell down to $19,000. It was 37 days, okay? Bear with me here. Next cycle, we rose all the way up to 31,000, 35 days this time. After that, we fell back down to 24,800, which was around 60 days. This time it was very long. Now, This was the most recent pump right over here that took us to $32,000, which was 30 days right on the dot. And after that, we have been falling down. Now the question is, how long have we been falling down? We have been falling for around 22 days. It says 24 right here. 24 days is how long we have been falling down, and that kind of seems a bit too short. So what this means, using the previous data, is that it usually takes around 35 to 60 days, or a month to 2 months to fall down, and about a month to a month and a half to rise up. Now, we have not reached that yet. It's been only about 2-3 weeks. But we have actually been getting closer and closer to this date. So there's about either a week to 4 weeks left of this falling down. And we will know when we will stop falling when we fall down to this yellow line, confirm support, and start rising up. That's the only thing we can say. We cannot give a specific date to when something's going to rise. We can give us some criteria that we have to do. If we break above this resistance line and confirm support, well, then you will know that the momentum is going to take us all the way up to $32,000. It's as simple as that. Just a few simple rules that we got to follow. Now, using all this big picture momentum and all this big picture channels, we can go on the smaller time frame and see what Bitcoin's going to do on the even shorter time frame. As you can see, actually, let's go back to the 4-hourly. Let's go back to the 4-hourly and check it here. As you can see, we are above this blue line right over here. This is a huge support line. It's very important. If we break below the support line, well, we will activate another indicator. Well, this indicator is called the descending triangle. All this is just a triangle that has a bottom that's flat and a top that's going down, and it's pinching Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to bounce inside of it until it can't anymore and will fall down. And the way you calculate this is you get the first moment of the tap from the top down to the bottom, and you drag it to the point of breakout. For example, if you break out right now, right over here, we will fall down to around 27,400. What's that saying is that if we decide to fall below this line, which is at 28,900, well, then we will start the trend down to around 27,800 on the smaller time frame, which meets with everything I've been talking about on the bigger time frames. I was saying that we're going to fall down to this yellow line, and after that, this could be confirming support on the bottom of this white line, taking us up, and could be a point of a breakout for us to break out of this bull flag, which is another bullish indicator. It's very interesting. It all lines up together. We can go on an even smaller time frame. Let's look at this. We have another sort of channel, which is a red line right over here. This channel is actually falling down. When a channel is falling down, it's a bullish channel. It's going to take us up if we confirm support on this orange line. The question is, when are we gonna break out? Are we gonna break out on this wave, or are we gonna break out on the next wave? If we get rejected, well, you guys know what's gonna happen. We're gonna fall down. And if we break below this line, well, you guys know what's gonna happen. We're gonna fall down. We're gonna fall down, tap this yellow line. Question is, are we gonna tap it instantly? Or the question is, are we gonna rise up and tap it like this? You can't predict everything. You know something's gonna happen. You have some criteria. You look at the big picture to see what's going to happen on the smaller time frames. And using these big picture charts, you can tell that we are going to be falling down. If we break below this line, we're going to fall down much faster. If we get rejected from this red line, from this channel, that's just going to be another wave for us to complete. We're going to just get rejected, fall down. It's going to activate this price triangle right over here, cause us to fall down. We're gonna tap the bottom of this support. If we tap the bottom, confirm support, that could be a rise up. And now the only question that's left to ask is, how much percent? How much percent is this? Well, if we right now break below the support on the smaller time frame, you can tell we fall down to 27,600 about. It depends how fast we reach the bottom. If we reach the bottom within the next 3 days, well, then we could be at 27,600, but that would be a 4% dump in 6 days. That is pretty fast. Instead, I would suggest a little smaller action inside of this red channel, because we are bouncing around inside of this channel, as you can see. So as long as we stay inside of this red channel, well, then it's still bullish for Bitcoin in the smaller time frame, because this channel will break us out. If we stay inside of this channel, well, we could see us tapping the red line at the middle of August, the 14th of August, around. So that meets the criteria with, like I was saying back the 30 to 60 days of bearishness for a cycle to be completed. What that means is that if we take the point from the contact, take it down to here, 31 days will happen. And of course, that's not the end because we still have to rise up and break out of this. So, like I'm saying, this could take us about 40 days, 50 days to actually break out and start our price trend up. So, in the short term, it looks like we will be falling down, but this is not a bearish thing because some of you probably are wondering, how come this is not a bear flag? I had many people talk to me about why am I so bullish about this channel on the long term. This is on the daily time frame, which means it's pretty long term. It could be a significant bear market for us. That's what people are thinking. Here's the thing. If this was a bear flag, well, let's go through the steps again. You know how to draw a line to see where it's going to go. You take from the top of that trend down to the bottom of the trend. Where will this take us? Well, take it to the point, for example, let's say we stop here. That would take us to, surprise, surprise, negative $20,000. That is not possible. Supply and demand will not take us down to negative 20,000 just because there will always be somebody who's just going to be holding Bitcoin. The lowest it can ever go, technically, is zero, even though that's not going to happen. For Bitcoin to go down to zero, everybody would have to sell it. Nobody's supposed to want Bitcoin. Bitcoin's supposed to die. That's literally what a dying crypto means. Nobody wants anymore. Nobody holds it. Everybody's sold. And so that is the reason why we're never going to fall down to zero, because somebody's always going to be holding. I'm going to be holding. My family's going to be holding. My friends are going to be holding. Millions of people that are going to be still in the market are going to be holding. This is actually a perfect test that happened right over here at $15,000, because this dump from 69,000 down to 15 was a huge test. This pump up to 69,000 attracted a lot of people who just wanted to make some quick money. And right when it started falling down, people that wanted to make some quick money started selling. Of course, some people decided to hold longer, but the people that stayed all the way down to 15,000, you know that those people are gonna stay for the long term. This is the new floor for Bitcoin, not zero, 15,000. That's where people do not want to sell anymore, just because all the people that stayed here, they're investing for the long term, for like 10 years. If we were to break this orange line, because this technically is a bearish pattern, we could fall down to around 21,000. Why am I saying this? Well, there's an indicator called the Fibonacci. It's a very complicated indicator to explain, but it kind of summarizes where price points of Bitcoin's dump could happen. Specifically, these golden lines, this is the average of where Bitcoin falls down to 0.5 to 0.618. These are the averages of a dump, a correction, before continuing the pump up. Because we know that we're in a bull market, we know that we're going to rise up, but just like we can't rise up in the smaller time frame forever, we can't do that on the larger time frame. So this is a perfect representation. Perfect explanation for this, is going to the smaller time frame and checking where we fell down to on this Fibonacci in the past. So as you can see, this previous pump caused us to fall down to 0.5, this half level, the halfway point of this pump. We dumped down to that level before pumping up once again. And what that could mean is that what we could do is reverse, fall down to around this level, and then continue rising up. And that level, like I said already, is at $22,000. Perfect support level for us to go to. If we break and confirm resistance on this yellow line, this orange line, that's where we could fall down to. Of course, we are inside of this bullish pattern in the smaller time frame. This bullish pattern could propel us up to $34,000, $32,000. And after that, if we get rejected, then we fall down to this. So a big moment will happen in the next 30 days. When we tap this, we will have to watch. But since this is the bullish pattern, my guess is that we will be rising up, because we have already also, if we take the Fibonacci retracement for this previous dump, checking how far we fell so far, you can see that falling down to this orange line, if I can remove the bigger one, falling down to this orange line would take us to this 0.5 level. So using big picture, we can see that we are in a huge cycle, just pumping up and dumping down. These cycles last about, they're like 20% cycles. You can get 20% out of each pump and each dump. They're big cycles. And using big picture, we can tell what's going to happen. We're going to pump down in the short term. It's going to last about 30 to 50 days. If we get rejected from this orange line after falling beneath it, well, then you might see a fall down to around 22,000, which, by the way, before I forget, will be from where we are right now, 22,000, that's about 20% dump. 24%. From the orange line, if you get to, for example, short, if you want to short, that is a 21% dump. It's a straight 20% dump. But if we confirm support, well, you know that we will keep bouncing around inside of this channel. If we break out of the channel, it's a 20% up pump. You cannot 100% predict everything, but using criteria, you could set yourself some rules to buy and sell. If we fall below here, I will sell. If we go over here, I will buy. That's literally how trading works. So in the big picture, you can see, So using the big picture, you can tell what Bitcoin will do in the long term. Now, this was my analysis. I have probably already running out of time. I've been talking for a little bit. If anybody has any questions and charts, I will be happy to answer about any crypto, any analysis about crypto. I'll be happy to answer. But while we're waiting for some questions to come in, I just wanted to talk about the very interesting indicator. This is just a big moving average called the EMA ribbon. This EMA ribbon is very interesting. This shows us, if we go on the weekly time frame, this shows us support and resistance. This shows us when we are in a bull market or a bear market. So looking on the super long time frame, we can see that when we're in a bull market, we actually have this huge like ribbon type of deal as support. And as soon as we break it right over here, well, that's when the huge dumps happen. And you can see that we are right now about to test it. It's also around $27,000. And that means that this is a huge support for us to stop at, 27,800. That's a level that you guys need to look at for Bitcoin. Once we fall down to this level, if we confirm support, it's going to be something wild. It's going to be a huge rise up to $34,000. And as long as we stay above this EMA ribbon, well, then that is huge, huge bullish news for Bitcoin. As long as we stay above this EMA ribbon, we could see a fake out, but this is the proof that Bitcoin is in a bull market. Anyway, that's my analysis. The stream is becoming a bit long. With that being said, I will be making daily streams like this. It's much faster, much more interesting. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next stream. See ya.